Audrey, and welcome to my carnivore journey. My journey has been going on for 2 years now, and I feel like I've just now got a handle on it. I get it. It's working like it's supposed to. I think at the beginning, I misinterpreted a few of the things that I was listening to, and I had a pretty rocky start. So I'm just going to share a few things with you, especially if you're starting out, that just, keep it in mind if this seems like it might help you. Okay, so first of all, if you're coming off of the standard American diet with the processed foods, the flour and the sugars, yes, I agree with the carnivore. Whatever you've got to do to get off that stuff, because it's an addiction, do it. If you've got to eat 3 packs of bacon and 2 sticks of butter a day, you got to get unhooked from those foods. So if you gain weight, who cares? That kind of weight will level off. But I came from a keto background. I already was, for the most part, off of that stuff. So when they say I could eat as much as I wanted, I'm a quantities person. So I was very excited about that. So for dinner, for example, I would have steak, chicken, pork chops, might throw a little Kaneka sausage in there, and I would eat it all. I'm talking that meal might have been 3,000 calories. Plus I would have had breakfast. Plus I would have had lunch. Might have had snacks. I might have eaten 6 times a day. I was just like, yeah, bring it on. Well, I gained 7 pounds in 2 weeks. So I realized, I'm playing a little too loose with this. So I'm going to have to go in and have some kind of limitation on calories. So here's some things that I did. First of all, one of my basic things with it was I had to quit watching cooking shows. I love to cook, and I love to watch the shows. I especially like the competitions, but they really triggered me. And when I'm trying to not eat 99% of that stuff that they're cooking, I would be doing great in a couple of episodes, and it would have me back in the pantry digging for things that are just for my husband, because I got rid of most of the stuff that I shouldn't have. Like I can't keep cocoa in the house. I can't keep flour, sugar. I got rid of most of that stuff, but there's always things that you could go in there and make. So I quit those. Also, I had to pick a meat. I would pick steak. Maybe I'd make 2 for myself. I might eat them both. But if you have different meats, you could eat both the steaks, then try the chicken, then get the sausage. Your taste buds will allow you to eat much more than your body is calling for. So a perfect example is last night. We came back from pickleball, and I had made my hamburgers with cheese and 2 eggs. So I had 2 hamburger patties, 2 eggs. And then in my air fryer, I threw some sausage in there for this week. So while we're eating dinner, I ate the eggs, ate a hamburger patty, and then I realized, I don't want the second one. I'm really not hungry. So I put it in a little container. Well, the air fryer went off, and I went over to check the sausages. They were so brown and sizzly and crusty, and I was like, I'm just going to try it. So I ate half of one of those sausages. I was not hungry at all. If that had been a hamburger patty sizzling and brown and crusty, I would not have wanted that because I was completely satiated. But because it was something different, my body was like, okay, well, we'll try it. So that was a huge game changer for me. All right. The second thing is, if you do try browned butter, that was a lifesaver, especially with my sweet cravings. It truly did help. Or if I ate a really lean meat with dinner, I would have a few of those afterwards, and it would give me enough fat. There's lots of recipes, but do not use salted butter. Some people say that, and it's way too salty. So I use unsalted, and then I just sprinkle on a little Redmond salt or sea salt at the end. I have done it with 1 stick of unsalted and 1 stick of salted, which that does work out okay, but even that is really salty. So anyway, I make them thin, and I love them, but everybody doesn't. So, all right, it is true that you can increase calories and go from adding a lot more fat and protein calories, and you wouldn't have the same effect as if you were to add 2,000 calories of carb calories. So they do have a point. That is right. But I went from 1,500 a day to 4,000 a day pretty consistently. So just, let's not go overboard there. Okay. The other thing is I am not a super strict carnivore. A lot of people are. More power to them. I have certain exceptions that I would allow in. I know it ahead of time, so I'm not making the decision in the moment when I see it and then think, oh, I really want that. How can I justify it? Well, that's not how I do it. In fact, one good tip that I heard one time is want it first, not see it and then want it. So that's a good tip. Like we get triggered by things that other people are eating or things we're seeing. Did I want that before that commercial came on? No, that's head hunger. That is not what my body's calling for. Okay, so the exceptions I have are things that I do not love, so I don't crave them. So therefore, like for example, with fruit. At school, we're going to have a back to school breakfast. There's very rarely something that I can have as a carnivore when I'm being hard and fast, because even the cheese and sausage casserole has a crust on it. So that's difficult. But there's always a fruit tray. So I try to eat before I go, and then just so I can feel a part of the crowd, I may get 3 strawberries and 5 or 6 blueberries. I don't even really like blueberries that much. I just eat them because I grow them sometimes. But those, I'm not going to go out and have to go buy a thing of strawberries and just eat them when I get home. There's always grapes, apples, pineapples, usually watermelon on the tray. I cannot do those. Those I will start craving, and I'll think, oh God, how good this was. And I'll be wanting to go to the store and get it and have it in my fridge. So know which things are triggering and which ones aren't. Almonds. The roasted and salted, I really like those. I could eat them anytime, hungry or not. But the lightly salted, they're okay. They'll do in a pinch, like when we're playing sometime and we have 3 hours games and I didn't really eat good before I left. I do keep them in my bag, and sometimes I'll think, okay, I'm just gonna get them. I'm that desperate. But I don't light up about them. I'm not excited about it, and I do not feel any kind of terrible ramifications when I do eat them. I mean, it's just a little packet. Vegetables. I love cauliflower rice, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. I am blessed to love vegetables, but that is what was giving me tummy problems for years, and I did not realize it. Green beans, lighter on the digestive system. So if that's ever out, like if we go to a Thanksgiving or some kind of dinner out and they have green beans, I will put a scoop of them on my plate and I will enjoy them. Again, nobody comes home craving green beans and having to eat these vast amounts of them. So again, these are your exceptions. These are not things that you're frequently putting in there. If you like them too much, the exceptions are going to become the norm. And then in your head, you're already eating strawberries and blueberries every day now. So then when you go and you have that fruit tray, you're kind of like, I mean, these are fruits, and I'm eating the strawberries and blueberries with no problem. So I'm just going to go ahead. It really will lower your defenses. And all of a sudden, all these things are creeping in, and then you're feeling like almost like you have to start over. And by the way, there's some things that are allowed that trigger me, so I can't do those. For instance, cottage cheese. I know a lot of people don't like it. I really, really do. I could probably eat the whole little 2-cup container. So that's dairy. I tolerate dairy well, but I know that's not a wise choice for me. So I have quit buying that. So anyway, I don't know if this helps you or not, but I hope it does, and I hope you have a great day.